Most people speed ramp wrong in DaVinci Resolve. Here's the right way. By the end of this video, you'll be able to recreate this exactly. And I'll show you the one step that most tutorials skip that makes speed ramps feel smooth instead of choppy. We're gonna do this entirely inside of DaVinci Resolve. No plugins, no presets, and no guessing. So once you're on DaVinci Resolve, you wanna go ahead and create a new project. I have already done so. So the first thing that I'm gonna do now is go into the project settings. Now this is very important, and this is where most people mess up. You want to record every single video in 60 frames per second if you're going to do a speed ramping video or if there's any slow-mo. Now the reason for that is so that you can edit on a 30 FPS timeline and then you can get really smooth speed ramping. So I have 3 clips I just dragged here into my media pool. I'm going to go drag one of my clips onto the timeline, whichever one that you're starting with. Now I'm just going to figure out where my shot starts and where it's going to end. So I'm probably going to start it right here so you don't see the sidewalk on the bottom of the screen, and we're gonna figure out where we want it to end right here. Now that we got the clip trimmed, we want to do some stabilization. Now there's a couple ways that you can go about stabilizing your clips. Luckily for this first shot, I'll be able to show you how we could use the tracker inside of Fusion to make this clip look super smooth. So what you want to do is open up your clip into the Fusion page. You're going to do Shift plus space bar and then type in tracker. Now we're just going to use the IntelliTrack for this one, and I'm just going to set this at the front door, kind of right in the middle there. Next you want to go to adaptive mode and always have it on best match when you're tracking a subject. After that, you're just going to want to track it back and forth. Alright, now that that's tracked, we're going to go ahead and go over to operation, hit match move, and then do background only. Then you want to just shift plus space, add a transform node. I like to drag my playhead all the way to the end of the timeline. Then you go over to center X and center Y, and you just kind of want to center the texture that's on the left here with this space on the right. Then what I do after I center everything is I go ahead and I scale it up a little bit right there. That way we don't have any frame missing on the edges. Now that we have the clip tracked, we're going to go ahead and right click it, do new compound clip. Now we need to go ahead and split our new compound clip. Usually I'd be editing this video with music, so I would split the clip right where the beat hits. Since we don't have music, we're just going to go ahead and mark a point where we want the clip to end. So we're going to come over here right in between 4 seconds and 8 seconds, and I'm just going to click M on my keyboard, and that's going to be where I'm ending the clip, and then I'm going to click S to split my clip and delete the rest of it. I'm also going to mark M in the front, that way I know where the front of the clip is and I know where the end is. And you're going to find out why it's important to mark your beats, especially for speed ramping, once we hop into the Fusion page. So now go ahead and select your clip and hop back into the Fusion page. Shift plus space, time stretcher, and then click enter. And now you can see our 2 points that we created on our timeline. Now this is important because if you didn't mark these points, you wouldn't know that the end of your clip is right here. And if you didn't know where the end of the clip was, then that could create a whole problem of your clip being all glitched out while you try to speed ramp. So using the time stretcher tool, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go to the end of our clip, which is marked by this marker right here. Then what I always do is I'm going to go ahead and drag this bar all the way to the end, and then you see 671 and 670. Those are our 2 last frames there. So we're going to keep 670 in mind because that's going to be the last frame that I'm going to use. So I'm going to go ahead and create a point here and type in 670. And then I'm going to click these little arrows right here, and then that gives us a full screen view of our graph. Next, you're going to highlight both points and click S. Now what that does is smooth out the curves. Once you smooth the graph, then you get to start messing with the graph a little bit to kind of make it the speed ramp style that you wish. There's always like a general rule of thumb of like a speed ramp that everybody uses, and that's what I'm going to go ahead and show you today. So what I'm going to do is drag this bottom graph up a bit right here, and then I'm going to just drag this top point down like this. Now that we have this is technically a speed ramped clip. If we go back to our edit timeline and now we watch it back, you can see it comes in pretty fast, slows down, and then it's gonna shoot out fast as well. Now that we have our first speed ramp clip, in order to make this speed ramp clip look good, we need to pair it up with another one and do that whole process again. Now, a little bonus tip, if you wanted to make this look even cooler and a way to kind of transition into maybe a different clip in your speed ramping, if we go back to the Fusion page, we're just going to go ahead and get rid of this last point right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and set another point on that last marker, and I'm just going to make a point at 0 frames. Now I'm going to go into the middle. I'm going to add another point. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that 227th frame, which is the last frame, in the middle. Now you're wondering, what does this do? Well, this is a super popular effect people use, and it's called the boomerang. After you make that point in the middle, you'll notice how we have this kind of mountain. Well, in order to smooth out this mountain, what I like to do is I'll drag this beginning point up, the end point up, and then I'm going to highlight the middle one, and I'm just going to delete that. Now I'm going to highlight both of these points, and I'm going to drag them down to roughly where the frame rate was. But now I'm going to mess with it and try to get it up to that last frame, which is right here. Now we have this ultra smooth boomerang effect. So if we go ahead, go back to the timeline and take a look at it, boom, look at that. We get a nice fast in, focus on the subject, and then reverse back out. And now what you can do in the end is go ahead and drag a new clip down, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do all of the same things I just taught you and put it into this new clip I added on the timeline, and then we'll see what it looks like all together. Alright, so now that that's finished, let's go ahead and take a look at what we have. As you can see, that was super simple but smooth speed ramping. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the clips with no speed ramping versus how they look with it. If this video helped you out, feel free to subscribe and like the video, and also tell me in the comments what part you liked best or what helped you the most. Thank you for watching. Until next time, it's been AP.